Well, hello, everybody. Today we are going to be talking about FOMO, fear of missing out, and how it is fueled by addiction. Hi, I'm Rati of Creative Calling Coaching, and I work with entrepreneurs, creatives, adults with ADHD, and other divergent thinkers who need help focusing so that they can grab the focus of others, get seen, and make money doing what they love. And today, we're going to learn to recognize your rationalizations for FOMO or fear of missing out before those rationalizations bite you in the ass. First off, though, I want to, as always, direct your attention to the description of the video where you will find a link to schedule. Well, actually, it's an intake form in order to get a link to schedule a strategy session with me, so that we can get into the particulars of your circumstance. And if you've been thinking about coaching, it's a great way to get a little free sample, because that's part of what I do during these strategy sessions. You will have an experience of being coached. Anyway, I'll talk more about that later, but I want to talk about this idea that FOMO is fueled by addiction. I'm going to use a story of a former client as a case in point. Allison was a rock and roll musician with major ADHD of the hyperactive variety. And her motto was, parties should not end. That was her POV. Parties should never end. And she was pretty good at the social aspect of her career, what we would call networking, as in partying and schmoozing and running around. However, she developed some problems in terms of maintaining her career, a lot of drama that derailed her career ultimately. Anyway, fast forward. She is clean and sober, first of all, and she is working. She's still making music, and she's making terrific music. And she's even making more music because she's actually composing more consistently. And because people can rely on her, she's getting booked more. She's getting more gigs. She's starting to experience some monetary return on her music making. So how did we do that? Well, it really boiled down to helping Allison get a handle on FOMO. All right. I mean, from the addict's perspective, you got to look at it this way. The more I do, the more I have, the more I can accomplish, the more successful I'll be, the better I'll be, the happier I'll be. Okay. More, right? Goes without saying that early on in our work together, I had to get her into rehab, because if you're actively addicted, you're not going to be real coachable. So you're going to have to deal with that. So full disclosure, I got her into rehab, and I froze her sessions. She came out of rehab, and then we were able to work together. All right. But the thing about her ADHD that I find interesting, and this is true with a lot of people with addictions, ADHD runs concurrently with addiction problems, and that's a number of reasons for that. One is it's a way to self-medicate, most obviously, okay? But it's also, people with ADHD, hyperactive, they get bored a lot, even inattentive. We get bored a lot. We're always looking for something else to do, to be, to have, okay? And we can use ADHD as an excuse for not looking at our shit. It's actually an avoidance tactic. All right. This idea, ironically, of never missing out is a way of avoiding what you really need to be tending to. In other words, missing out on your own life, missing out on the work that you really need to do on yourself. Because here's the thing. You don't get to skip anything. It's not like there's some silver bullet that's going to go whizzing by and you're going to catch it because thank God you didn't miss out and it's going to solve all your problems. That's the trouble with the FOMO mentality. It's a silver bullet mentality. And they don't exist unless you're trying to kill a vampire, in which case I guess you need a silver bullet, and I guess that's where that came from. I don't know. So here's the question. If you struggle with FOMO, especially now that we're coming out the other side, no more mask mandates, no more limits on capacity. People are going to start going to events together again. We want to come out better from this experience, right? And the way to do that is not just to fall back into old habits. So before you do, I want you to ask yourself, what are you avoiding by not missing out? What are you avoiding in your own life? What are you avoiding tending to in your own life by not missing out? By doing all that running around and meeting everybody or doing whatever and taking every single fucking class. Of course, taking a bunch of different classes, especially like in the same modality, is a great way not to learn anything and create massive confusion, all right? And not confront your stuff. So here's the question. That's the question I want to leave you with. When you get seized by FOMO, oh my God, there's this performance. I really want to get there. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you live in New York City, especially, for instance, there's so much to take advantage of here culturally and all. I'm not demonizing that. I'm just I'm speaking to the people here who might have reason to pathologize that a little. You kind of know, if you're honest with yourself, you're avoiding something. What are you avoiding? By not missing out. All right. So in summary, I want you to catch yourself when you get that FOMO thing. I might miss out feeling because somebody talks about some event or some class or something or some stock you should invest in. I want you to catch yourself and ask yourself, what do you really want? What really matters to you? And in regard to what really matters to you and what you really want, what are you avoiding? Then after that quiet contemplation, make your decision whether to partake in the offering that has triggered your FOMO feelings or not. So again, before I conclude, if you like this, if it hit a nerve or rang a bell or however you want to look at it, felt good, was a little inspiring to you, please click the link and let's have a time to talk together. I'm going away on vacation next week, but in August, we could get together, have a little strategy session, see how FOMO might be running or ruining your life. Or maybe you're somebody who struggles with a lot of isolation and you could do with a little more of it, right? Everybody's different. That's why it's a good idea for us to have a conversation. I would also encourage you to like this video. If somebody comes to mind as you've watched it that you think would get something out of it, please share it. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. And next week will probably be a couple of reruns of greatest hits of Rati, I suppose. And the week after, first week of August, I'll be back live. So I look forward to seeing you then. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.